Recently, I got an interesting comment on one of my videos that caught my eye, and that is that XRP will hit $2,000 USD by December of this year easily. Now, that's a pretty big statement, and I'm not here to tell you that it will or won't happen, but really what would need to happen if it were to happen, and talk to you about my own personal experiences in the markets and how you can't rule anything out, especially in the cryptocurrency market, and what also has been said and done out there and what we know is coming this year still. A lot of interesting pieces to the puzzle. I want to put it all together in this video. If you do like these types of videos, click that like button. And if you're new here and want to subscribe, we'd love to have you in the community. Click that subscribe button as well. Now, a couple of things here first off. I want to start off with saying is right away, without watching the video, without listening to the different thesis here and the different components and things that need to happen, things that are being said and so forth, there's already, I almost guarantee you, the market cap bros typing ferociously in the comment section saying it can't happen, it will never happen because of market cap. And not just on this channel, right? But many channels out there have already disproved that you can't go based off market cap and market cap alone. If you are going to look at market cap, you need to really understand and dive deep into understanding what actually drives the market cap of a cryptocurrency and the market cap multiplier and what it really takes to move the market cap higher, which is much less than what most people think. It isn't dollar for dollar. I'm not going to get into that because we've talked about that many times. But in knowing that, let's talk about some things that have happened in the past and some things that I've witnessed. I was around when Bitcoin was under $100, calling it a scam, not taking it seriously until it hit 3,000. I was around when Dogecoin ran up thousands of percents in just a few months just because Elon essentially backed it. And XRP specifically seeing one of the biggest and best runs ever in history, over 30,000% in just a few months. It's literally happened to XRP. The big difference between those times and this time is we're moving into the implementation of this technology. We've got adoption. We're seeing adoption happen even more so, but we're actually starting to see implementation. And the one single thing that has always held us back for years, the entire market, is the fact that we're still unregulated. There's not true law in this market. And we've said countless times, and I'm not going to get into it in this video, on why law will be the biggest and best catalyst to really move this market forward. But in knowing what has happened in the past, we can't say it won't happen or can't happen again. In my opinion, it's likely that we do see big, huge movements like we've seen in the past based off what we know is coming to this market. Now, with that being said, a couple things come to mind when we were talking about XRP specifically. And it's from a couple big CEOs, one being Archx CEO, the other being SBI CEO. And when these CEOs make claims like Archx's CEO, the CEO of Archx made the claim of 30 to 50 trillion coming on chain on the XRPL, and SBI's CEO talking about how all of Japan will be utilizing XRP, all the banks in Japan. What we have to understand is that these CEOs are not just going to say this stuff at the risk of getting sued. So with that being said, what would it actually take to see massive moves for XRP? A few different things I want to touch on. First being Archx's statement, the CEO talking about 30 to 50 trillion coming on chain. Now, I wanted to pull up what AI had to say on this here today. I wrote, how long would it take if regulatory approval was already established to bring 50 trillion on the XRPL? AI writes, if regulatory approval was already established, tokenizing 50 trillion in assets on the XRPL could theoretically be executed in days 2 weeks. Leveraging the ledger's 3 to 5 second transaction settlements and 1,500 transactions per capacity. So what we know is it could happen very quickly. And a lot of people speculate on how we are about to get these XRP ETFs, and this is by no coincidence that this is going to drive liquidity into XRP to get it at a sustainable level to actually see that flip of the switch moment in November when ISO 20022 goes live globally. And just taking a look back of what happened with XRP in 2017 and doing that 32,900% run, I did some quick math here today and put at the approximate price, we're at around $3, $3.01, it would rise us to about $989 per token if we did that same exact run. Knowing that that run was again off speculation, off a lot of retail, a little bit of institutional demand, but really it wasn't the implementation, which is so different, far different than what we've ever seen in the past. And one thing that gets a lot of people caught up, and you'll see it a lot with TA guys saying this can't happen because it hasn't happened in the past. But we're in a new market. This is an emerging market. Yeah, it's been around for some years, but really in the infancy stages still. So you can't say what can or can't happen because no one can truly see in the future. So in some closing thoughts here, some final thoughts, is it likely that XRP will hit $2,000 by December? I would say probably not likely. But with that, we are in unprecedented times. And what was the likelihood out of all the generations of people that have came to Earth that we were chosen to be in this time where we're seeing this full-on revolution happen, where we are literally seeing finance change in front of us? What was the likelihood that we got in during a time where we were able to buy digital assets that will be here for as far as you can see before the institutions got in? What was the likelihood of that? It probably wasn't really that likely, but it happened, and anything can happen. And so those are my thoughts. I'm not saying it will or won't happen. There's a lot of different factors out there, and that's what I want to make clear. You know, we've talked about the fixed theory in the past on how the banks have likely even talked to Ripple about a set price needed to actually use this as a bridge currency, and the fact that Ripple has patents out there that no one else can use. Why they really are the standalone cryptocurrency out there as a bridge neutral asset. All of these things together make sense on why XRP needs to be a high price and what's coming to XRP and why we can't rule it out. I remember, and I've used this story in the past here on the channel, trading the stock Mara under $1, around 50 cents as a day trader, when I could have just set on Mara and seeing it go up to $75 just a year later. So some assets, my point here being some assets like XRP, I believe is one, you just want to buy and hold. There's a lot of assets out there, and this isn't financial advice, that are great for trading, but in my personal opinion, XRP isn't one of those. XRP is a coin that you buy, you hold, and you wait it out, and you see the vision, know what is coming to XRP. Those are my thoughts, my opinions. I just want to put them out to you all. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I appreciate your time and support. We'll see you all in the next one.